Hello, and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, we're going to be talking about Box and Nintex workflow. It's cloud content management with robust workflow. Now, you're probably wondering, should I be watching this video? So here's a couple of questions to help you get to that answer. Are you inundated with requests for contracts or document reviews? Is there no structured way to capture these reviews, capture the information regarding these reviews? Do you need to be able to track these reviews? Will you need to find these documents after these reviews are completed? Are you concerned about introducing users to yet another interface? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, well, it probably makes sense to watch this video. So let's get started. Here we are at our request form, and of course the request form is what will trigger the entire process to start. And the request form can be accessed from a number of different locations. It's basically a URL that can live off the company internet or intranet depending on who is filling out the request. So we'll start it with the requester's name, and we'll type in Adam Storch and the email address. And of course, that requester email address is where any information about the request updates will be sent. Our counterparty, we'll put in our counterparty name, counterparty representative. And of course, the fields you see in this form are based on this particular solution. Based on what the business process is and what we're trying to accomplish, you would have different form fields. And you can also see you can have text boxes like where it says estimated annual amount of spend. You can have drop-down lists for the currency as you see there. You can also have where it says MSA available, a little checkbox binary turn off on switch. You can have date fields. You can have all sorts of pieces that make it easy to grab the data needed to drive the process. The key is we want the user experience to be as smooth as possible to capture that data. Now, as we talked about, the idea is to review a set of documents, so we're going to bring those documents into the system. So let's drag those in. We'll drag in this document for our supporting documents. And of course, we'll drag in this document as a working document. And from here, all I do is hit submit. By hitting submit, it will upload the files and of course, kick off the workflow process. Once the form is submitted, of course, the workflow is started and people who are assigned tasks will receive notifications. Here is such a notification for the first task in the workflow. This went to Adam Storch. So he has been notified that there's a CR request, contract review request. The number was automatically signed when the workflow is created. And here, of course, is all the pertinent information about that request right in the email. The requester name, counterparty, and so forth. So all that information is provided right there. And of course, down at the bottom, what you have is a link to the folder in Box where these documents are being stored for this particular request. You also have a link to the CR request form. So let's click on that request folder and take a look at the documents that have been sent to us. So here we have single sign-on setup, of course. So I'll hit continue. And of course, here we are in our folder. Let's widen this screen out a bit. So as you remember, we went off and submitted the folder for Tivana. That was our particular vendor that we entered. Here's the CR that was automatically created. You'll notice it automatically created a folder structure for us based on this particular solution just by filling out the form. Here is a memorialized version, if you will, of the data that was entered. So here's that CR number and all the original information. So you can see what was originally provided to us as part of the form submission. And if I go into, say, working documents, here is the working document that was uploaded. Now, another key thing to notice is, of course, when I go to details over here on the right, and I'll scroll down, and you'll see that this particular metadata, the contract request number, contract status, contract validator, all this metadata was automatically filled in when that document was either dropped into the folder or, of course, as part of the workflow. Example, QA person being Jason. Now, this metadata now allows us to easily find this document when searching. So let's do that. Let's go back up here. And of course, our out-of-the-box box searching. And I can search for either a contract request document or a request form, the original form you filled out. Let's look for a contract request document. And I'll scroll down. And let's say I want to find one for the counterparty or vendor Tivana. And if I hit search, Here's entirely too long a list. Let's make this list a little shorter. Add some more criteria here. As I said, I just want the ones for Jason doing the QA, so I'll just type in here Jason and hit apply. Much better. So here's the one document I'm looking for, and again from here I can go off and do what I need to do with that particular document. Here we are back at our workflow notification, and of course this is what started the process for accessing that particular task, the first task in the workflow. You'll notice at the bottom it says you may reply with reject, approve, or send for legal review. After reviewing the information in the documents, I think we can approve this, so we'll hit reply, and we'll simply type approve, and hit send, and it'll update the workflow accordingly. Now that the workflow has been approved, I can close this. Here's our folder structure for this particular CR. What has happened is the documents that we're working and supporting have been automatically moved to the executed folder. So here the documents are now sitting in executed, and if I click on one of them, what you'll notice under details is the status has been changed to executed copy MSI. So of course the status has been changed and the document has been moved, all as part of the workflow process. So what did you learn? Well, we learned that capturing the review request can be very simple. Also that you can ensure standards on how documents are stored without burdening the users with a lot of additional steps. Users can also accomplish their tasks without additional interfaces. As you saw right from email, they're able to see everything they need to know about that task, as well as approve, reject, or add additional steps to that workflow. So what are your next steps? Well, it's time to reach out to Mike Strategies. So give us a call so we can help you like we help our other clients.